now. Hey everyone, it's Mr. Pesetsky here from the College and Career Center. Today, my special guest is Laura Romer. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Awesome. She is the Regional Admissions Counselor for the University of University of Oregon. I am so sorry. The University of Oregon. And she's here to talk to us about what it's like at the University of Oregon. So, Laura, what are the top 5 things you would want prospective students to know about the University of Oregon?
Yeah, so my first piece of advice always is to apply early. We saw so many students this year applying super late, and unfortunately that means that you don't get as much time to make your college decision. So if you can start applying early, that's going to help you out, not just at the University of Oregon, but at every school.
Mm-hmm.
And on August 1st, most students will choose to use the Common App, but you can also use the Coalition app or our own application on our website. And going along with that, as I'm sure they know from you already, doing the FAFSA really early is important, because the earlier you get that done, the earlier you can get your financial aid package. So that's probably 2 things really, but I have a whole long list.
All right.
Second thing that you should, second thing that you should know about Oregon is that you have to complete your application to get a decision. That doesn't just mean that means you need to submit your transcript, your test scores, and pay your application fee or submit a fee waiver. What you can do is check your portal. So we have a student portal, just like most schools, called DuckWeb. Everything is about a duck with Oregon. That's something to know. And that will tell you what the status of your application is, and you can see what items you're missing. And yeah, that's going to be super helpful. So make sure that you're checking DuckWeb instead of just calling or emailing repeatedly. There is a way you can check on your own. Thing that you should know about Oregon in terms of the admission process is that we do have essays required. So they're not very long. It's just a couple hundred words, so it's shorter than a lot of stuff that students are probably already doing as high school juniors. But a big thing to know is that that essay is an opportunity to tell me, because I'm the one who's reading your application, tell me something that I won't know about you from the rest of your application. So, you know, don't like reuse an essay that you wrote for an English class. I'm sure it's a great essay, but I want to know about you. And that's really the most those essays. And of course they shouldn't have any spelling or grammar mistakes, because this is 2020. We have Microsoft Word to help us with that.
Sure.
And then ultimately what we really encourage is that you can come and visit campus. I say come and visit campus. That's not really accurate because I'm here in Arizona. But if you get the opportunity to go to visit campus, please do that, because that is really going to be the best way for you to get a sense of the community, meet actual students, see what students are wearing on an average visit. You really need to make sure that you feel like that could be your home for 4 years. There's info sessions, obviously a campus tour. You can go for a running tour if you're into that.
Oh.
I wouldn't do that personally because yeah, but we have it. So there's a lot of great things you can learn really only when you're on campus. So yeah, if you can get up to Oregon and make a visit, that's a really helpful thing to do.
Do you have like virtual tours online that students can do now?
Yeah.
Okay. So they just go to the website and they'll be able to...
A lot of resources for virtual. Yeah, and what I would encourage students to do right now, and I don't know how long we'll have this page up, probably forever, but if you go to virtual.uoregon.edu, you can view all of our virtual resources. So that includes a virtual campus tour, connecting with an admissions counselor such as myself via Zoom, learning about different opportunities that are on campus. You can have a virtual session with someone from housing and financial aid. 60, where you can literally see campus from a 360 degree angle. It's really cool. Definitely a lot of valuable resources on that virtual page.
Nice. Great. Did we hit 5, or do you have?
I think so. I felt like I talked about probably 10 things.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
No problem. And what are the admissions requirements? Like GPA, average GPA, SAT scores? Yeah.
Sure. So we don't have any minimum requirements. There are 14 core classes that we look for, which are all classes that students from MHS would have to take to graduate anyway. What we're looking at, we look at a student holistically. So that means that we look at your GPA and your test scores, but we also look at the classes that you chose to take. We look at your grade trend. We look at your extracurricular activities. We look at your essays, of course. So we're looking at you as the whole person. And that's why I really like it when a student's essays tell me something about them that isn't already listed on their list of extracurricular activities.
Right.
So I appreciate that. I think it's really nice that we read every single application. There's no student who is magically just admitted with no one looking at their application, and there's no student who is denied without any looking at their app.
Good, that's really great. So for our Arizona students, they clearly have to live on campus. So can you describe residence life in 5 words or less, or what it's like to live on campus?
Yeah, so I compiled a list of words.
Okay.
So I would use the words, these words I would use these to describe housing at the U of O. Educational, because you are going to learn a lot of things about yourself and about others by living with them, good and bad. It's part of the adult process in life, I think. Valuable, fun, eye-opening, and helpful. We do require freshmen to live on campus, so you're going to be living with students from all over the world. You might be living with people who have a similar academic interest or a similar social interest, or you might just be living with a bunch of other freshmen. But altogether, it's a really valuable, important experience to have.
Nice. And what type of students do well at the U of O?
Yeah, I think number one thing that I would mention is that we are looking for students who are academically motivated and students who are ready to tackle the challenge of college. There is no such thing as an easy major. There's no such thing as a college experience that doesn't require work. So we're looking for students who are ready for that and who are excited to tackle it. We know that our students who do best at the U of O are students who get involved. So if you are involved in clubs and organizations, if you have a job on campus, you're more likely to have better time management skills. You're more likely to have a bunch of different things you can put on a resume when you graduate. You are going to meet people in different areas, not just in your major. So we really, our students who are most successful, who graduate with higher GPAs, they tend to be involved in more than just going to class and going back to their dorm. We're also certainly, I think what's important is that students are looking for a place with diverse seasons. The weather in Marana is not similar to the weather in Oregon.
No.
At all, which I think is exciting.
Yeah.
I was the kind of person who wanted to get away from the weather of my home state, and that's exactly what I did. So you do need to, be ready for rain and clouds and then sun peeking out almost every day. Oregon is not actually super, super rainy, at least not in Eugene, where the U of O is located. It could be worse if you go further north. It might get a little rainier, but academically getting ready to get involved and being ready for the diverse seasons. Those are probably the most important attributes.
Nice. And real quick, what are some of the most popular programs or majors?
For sure. Yeah, business is definitely one of our most popular majors, like a lot of schools, I think. We definitely also see a lot of interest in the arts. We have a really, really strong School of Architecture. So if you're interested in architecture, interior architecture, or landscape architecture, those are extremely good programs. Our School of Music is definitely something that attracts a lot of interest, and we've also got a lot of students who are interested in the sciences. So biology, marine biology, physics, chemistry, things like that. What I will say is that the most popular major for students when they apply is undecided.
Yeah.
And that's okay. It's okay. You don't
have to know all the time.
Yeah, it's fine. It's all good. It's rare for students to know exactly what they want to do for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. Nice. Okay, so this is one of my favorite questions to ask when I'm on like a counselor tour visiting a campus is, what are the quirky traditions on campus that students do for fun or something like that,
Yeah, I think a big one that a lot of people probably know about. You might have seen it if you've ever seen Oregon athletics. This is something called throwing the O. So that means you're doing this. It's the O, so you're throwing your O to support the university. So this might be done at athletic events, but also just random photo ops. So if you ever see someone doing that, they may have gone to the University of Oregon.
Nice. Cool.
Another fun thing to know about is that the movie Animal House was filmed at the University of Oregon.
Oh, nice.
I don't know how many high school students have seen Animal House these days, but you should definitely watch it if you haven't. Yeah, released, I think I wrote down 1978.
Oh, wow.
It is not an accurate representation of what college is like. I want to be very clear about that.
Absolutely.
It's pretty ridiculous, but it's super fun to watch that and see how campus has changed since then, because there are a lot of notable buildings that are featured in there. I saw Animal House when I was in high school, and then when I ended up working at the U of O, I got so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm on this campus now where this movie was filmed. So you get a lot of like older family members on campus tours who take pictures of the various buildings because they're familiar.
It's fun.
And then finally, what I think is fun is the duck. So the duck is our mascot, and that's why a lot of our everything refers to ducks in some way. Hopefully when I can come and visit MHS in the fall, fingers crossed, I can bring my recruitment materials and a recruitment piece called Quack Facts, because of course it is.
Yeah, of course.
So the duck's our mascot. He's super cute. He doesn't have a name. He's just the duck.
Really? No name?
No name. No name. He's just the duck. But yeah, he's very sweet. Yeah, he's very sweet. He looks like Donald Duck, but he is not Donald Duck. But the duck is all over the place at on-campus events. When I was on campus in October for the first week of classes, the duck was riding a Ferris wheel that they set up on campus. So that was pretty fun to see.
Awesome. That's very cool.
The duck is a very, very lovable, very cute and sweet mascot.
Yeah. You would think it'd be otherwise if he doesn't have a name. Like, he would be a little upset about that, but I guess not.
I know. Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Lastly, what advice would you give juniors in light of what's going on with the coronavirus? Those who are maybe thinking of not going out of state because of isolation or SATs being canceled and ACTs being canceled. What's some advice you would give to the juniors right now?
For sure. So number one thing is that we are going test optional.
Okay, nice.
So that means that when you apply to the University of Oregon, you do not have to submit a test score to be evaluated for admission. I would still encourage you to take the ACT or SAT if you get the chance, because test scores are required for our automatic merit scholarships, but that does give you a little bit more time. So yeah, you're probably going to be taking the ACT or SAT your senior year, and that's fine. That's okay. Tell you also, when you're doing your essays, don't feel like you have to write about the pandemic and how it affected you unless you have something really, unique to say, because it is affecting literally all of us.
Right.
I've been at home for months and I'm so bored, and I know that you are too, students. So don't feel like you have to do this big dramatic thing. Unless you are personally really affected by it, feel free to write about something else and use the application as like a fun escape from all of that. Don't feel like you have to, write I'm so sorry that I couldn't be involved in the spring of my junior year. Of course you can't be involved. Right. None of us can. It's okay. So try to focus on the positive things that happened before all of this, and know that this is highly unlikely to affect your entire senior year. And it should not prevent you from going out of state for college whatsoever. Everything medical that's coming out is saying that this is not going to be that far reaching. So again, fingers crossed.
Right, for sure. And for incoming seniors, like, what's the plan for the fall?
Yeah, so we're just kind of playing it by ear. We have just a couple days ago that our summer classes will be online, which didn't surprise me too much. But the nice thing about the University of Oregon is that we do have a much later start than a lot of universities. So this year, I think our class started the last week of September. That is much later than many other schools. So that is kind of giving us a little bit more time. We will absolutely have classes in person if we are able to, if it's safe to, if the governor of Oregon says that's okay. But of course, if it's not, I don't think you'll see many, if any, schools having classes in person. If it's truly not safe, I think the vast majority of colleges and universities will probably be online. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Okay. Very good. Is there any last something you want to say before we sign off?
Yeah, I think the only thing else I would say is that students should really try and get to know their admissions counselors now. Please talk to us. Again, I am bored. I would love to talk to you. I would love to have a Zoom meeting with you, or a phone call, or you can text me or email me. So my contact info is on the website. I'm the only Laura who works in my office, so you can find me that way, and just start the conversation and let us know how we can help you from now until you make your college decision.
Awesome. Very good. Well, thank you so much for being here. And
Yeah.
let me